If I ever get out of this house alive, gonna set the whole goddamn place on fire.
All right, happy Tuesday, everybody. Here we are, Tuesday night Toke. I believe we are looking at episode number 325. And we have a very special guest with us tonight, Sarah, the lady Cannabis of Niagra. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing awesome. I can't thank you guys enough for inviting me to partake in the show tonight.
I thank you for being willing to come and hang out with us. This is this is always good fun. I love getting to meet new people. And actually, it was our good friend High and Tight that kind of sent me your Instagram thing and was like, "Hey, check her out. See if you can get her on. She's really cool." And sure enough, you seem really cool. And a lot of good stuff going on there, which we'll get into here really shortly. Start off, it's what are you smoking on tonight? That's the number one thing everyone wants to know right off the bat is what is she smoking?
Yeah. Well, tonight I'm actually enjoying some Miracle Alien cookies from Master Tokes. Some nice flour, and I also have some pressed hash we made from Devil Driver. Some really nice stuff.
Throw it on the big screen here so we take a better look at that. That looks great.
Just a little chunk of hash, right?
Well, yeah.
Get you through the night.
What can I say?
Be good for an evening. I like it.
You have to stock up for tomorrow, though.
Yeah.
No, that looks great, though. Is that something that you grew yourself?
These two, no, not in particular. I'm actually just in between. Okay. So I'll have some nice stuff to show on Instagram, my Lady Cannabis of Niagra profile, shortly.
Excellent.
Yeah.
We always looking at the weed porn, as we like to call it, bud porn, whatever. It's just always so much fun.
Yeah.
So let's just get straight into the good stuff. You're kind of we were starting this conversation. I'm stammering idiot, you see. This is why we don't ask too many questions here because we can't spit them out. Right before the show started, you were talking about some of the stuff that you're known for, and you started getting into you're a herbalist. You do a lot of creams and teas and stuff like that. Why did you do that? Fluff.
All good.
It just really throw me off. Fuck with me. I'm ugly, and it fucks me up when I see that. Sorry. Damn you, Fluff.
So how did I get into like medicine making and stuff?
Yeah.
I grew up in Georgian Bay, and growing up, both my parents worked quite a bit. So I spent quite a bit of time at nature. My great grandmother, I spent a lot of time with her, Florence, and she would process herbs and cultivate them in a beautiful cottage she had there. So from a very young age, I was made aware of different plants and, what they could do for us. I also come from a background where cannabis was grown in our family. Only I'm the first generation, like many, to get out there and actually get certified. Um, um, so I have my quality assurance, my quality control, my laboratory certifications, cultivation. I graduated in one of the first classes for the Academy of Applied Pharmaceuticals and Sciences. So that was a lot of fun. My father did teach me quite a bit growing up about the plant and different things, cultivating. Yeah, so it was really neat.
So you're like not even just like your like home, like what I would say like home hobbyist herbalist. You got like some serious education and knowledge.
Yeah. I started out by attending Dominion College, Herbal College in BC, and I obtained my chartered herbalist diploma. I then went on and over a year's time wrote my master thesis on treating the symptoms of cancer through utilizing cannabis sativa, dandelion root, and frankincense. With that being said and done, I achieved a master herbalist status. So that's kind of where I'm at with my certifications for herbology. But I also have my psychotropic plants diploma as well. I can honestly say I just love spirit medicine and everything about it. Yeah.
How long have you spent doing all this schooling to get all these diplomas or degrees?
Good question. I've been a single parent for many years. I have an 18-year-old daughter and a 14-year-old boy. I did 8 years straight to full-time school, working and raising my children. I would drive into Toronto at night, into the school to do, those classes and certifications, and then work the apothecary all day and take care of 2 children. So it was a very long 8 years. I've been out of school for about 1.5 years now.
You know what? Congratulations to you. My hat is off to you and all that hard work. There are
Thank
few
you.
things I respect more than hard work and effort. It is clearly you kind of do your path in what you wanted to be doing. And I honestly don't know that I would have been that driven, given that I knew which path I was going for. So that is just that's impressive. So
I've just always known from a very young age that I've loved helping people. And, when people were feeling unwell, I loved figuring out how to help them from a very, very young age. It's just been ingrained in me, to be honest with you.
Okay,
I absolutely love that. And then working with just the plants and everything as well is so
I love it.
Cool. I had a quick question. You said working in the apothecary. When you work there, are you able to forage for a lot of your medicines, or do you have to kind of, get them brought in?
Okay. So
reasons.
So at the apothecary, I do source out our products because we go through quite a few. I do try and source local products mainly and mostly, and organic. I try and get as many things from a local source as possible. There are some products that we have to outsource from other countries because they're just simply not grown here. Certain things. So I do have a few main suppliers that I'm very happy with the quality and of the products that they produce, if that answers your question. I really do love foraging, and pretty much everywhere I go when I'm walking down the sidewalk, I'm noticing something and pulling out the phone and taking pictures and,
Yeah, I think that's awesome. Right. I think honestly, it'd be a really neat path to walk, to go down like the herbalist path. And I mean, I'm kind of educating myself that way. But and same thing. I mean, driving down the road, right? You see a tall plant that just stands out. And you're like, oh, I see that one. You kind of check it in your mind. Even everywhere you go, you start looking. and for plants that can help you, heal you, or feed you. It's so cool.
Yeah, creator provides. And like I always refer to this when I'm speaking with people and exchanging info. Like, I don't know how many of you know about Manuka honey or have used it. It's supposed to be bar none, right? And it totally is. But for people that live in, what is it, Australia or New Zealand? Um, so for us here in Canada, there's been many studies done, and they say red clover honey is at par with Manuka for people down there. And one of the benefits of using the red clover here is that it's actually made with the local pollens and allergens. So it's actually going to be more beneficial for us here, right? I'm always encouraging people to seek out stuff close to home within a short radius, because it truly is, it does make a difference.
Yeah, very much so. I was telling you, goldenrod was one thing I was starting
Yeah.
to look through, and to get it local, right? All those local, absolute to the area, the allergens, to try to work those out is, all those things. We look at our honey, and I've been trying to think of different ways to incorporate the local honey into other things like our gummies, per se, to use that instead of like a corn syrup, and make it local. That way it does have just maybe slightly a little bit more better for you.
Absolutely. It highly elevates the beneficial factors for sure. Yeah.
I have a question actually for that. So a couple girlfriends and I have harvested and prepared some mullein to make some tincture with.
Yeah.
And they have before, but have always used a grain alcohol, which we can't get our hands on at the moment. Okay. So for something else, like I have read types of glycerin and things like that, but what would you suggest?
My go-to, to be honest with you, when it comes to tinctures, I prefer to make glycerites. Okay. Mainly because there is a large percentage of people that are trying to abstain from utilizing alcohol, or that have allergies to alcohol, right? Yeah. And one of the other things that stands out for me is I truly enjoy taking a glycerite in the few drops that I take, because it tastes like a beautiful tea.
Yes. Okay.
Right?
Yes.
And it's just very pleasing and positive. Yeah.
Much more so than the alcohol based. Yeah.
Yeah. So like a vegetable glycerin, I would suggest utilizing.
Okay. Excellent. I know exactly.
Where would a person look to source some like, because I like this Friday is actually 5 years alcohol free for me. So I take seriously.
Oh my goodness! Congratulations!
It has actually stopped me from taking tinctures and stuff like that, because I don't want it. But if there is something like what you're talking about, where it's similar, just slightly different, I jump on that with 2 feet. So
yeah. So I mean, vegetable glycerin. It depends on the amount that you're looking to purchase. I mean, you can buy it in bulk. Amazon carries it. Your natural health food store would carry it. There are different various places.
Is there a specific type that is better for the making of a tincture than, because I know a lot of people use vegetable glycerin for like making vape juices, things like that. So is there a specific type?
You want to make sure it's kosher and food grade for sure. Absolutely. 1000%. Yeah.
Fantastic.
And do you do the infusion the same way you would with you're making a tincture or RSO or whatever? You just kind of soak it in there for X amount of time? And
so yeah, that's a good question. Typically when I'm making tinctures, I would use a larger mason jar, and it depends on the ratio that I'm looking to produce. Usually we would do like a 5-to-1 or a 1-to-2 type thing. So if I was making like a mullein tincture, I would probably fill about half the jar with the mullein, right up to the line, like not quite where the neck goes up, but just to the bottom of the glycerite, and then just put the littlest amount of water, like even just like 2 tablespoons. Yeah. And then you could either do a cold extraction where you would cover it up in a dark, cool place and let it rest for anywhere from 1 to 3 months. Or you could do the green dragon method, which is where you gently heat it with a water bath in a pot. And for that, I would typically I would bring it to a boil with the jar inside, keep the lid on, but not really tight, just on. And I would probably let it do a gentle boil for a good 45 minutes and then turn it off and let it sit overnight. And then I would strain it the next day. Beautiful. Yeah.
Nice.
I like the sounds. See, this is why we got to bring in an expert, because we're too dumb to figure out this kind of stuff ourselves. I thank you. I just for my own purposes, but also Mullen. This is here's another one actually. So we've talked about Mullen a fair bit on this show. I have discovered it 5 years ago ish to hearing that it can help with a smoker's cough, so to speak. I haven't had a cigarette in like 12 years. I got a smoker's cough, and I will use Mullen for that. Can you actually explain to us some of the real benefits that it does have? Because I'm just like, oh, it's like a bronchial dilator, and it has like anti pathogenic properties, and other than that, I can't really.
I'm definitely not going to get right technical with you about that right this moment, but I will show you. This is some Mullen here in a herbal smoking blend that we created at the apothecary, and it's our stop smoking blend. We advise patients that they can either grind it and ingest it on its own, or they can add it to their cannabis. And it's amazing how many success stories we're seeing now that people are actually trying it. It seems more and more people are open to trying it. It really does. It cleanses your lungs. It has so many benefits, to be honest with you. But I really love using it in combination with other herbs as well.
Is this something? Smoking blends are very cool to me. What other things are you adding to like that specific blend that kind of help get you the non-smoking effect?
Okay. All right. So like in this particular blend, we have the Mullen, red raspberry leaf, chamomile, which helps to calm, the white willow bark and peppermint. This blend it's unique because what we're doing is trying to, when the person is feeling antsy and like they're really wanting a cigarette, they're going to initiate those feelings, right? And then with a bit of time, it's like it just helps to lessen the cravings. There's many different points. Yeah.
That's awesome. I've never heard of someone putting willow bark into I've had some willow bark in some various teas and things, but I've never heard of it in a smoking blend. And I can't imagine that actually would be kind of nice, almost cigarish, more woody, and I could see that being very enjoyable. Actually,
it's really quite smooth. It's quite enjoyable. Some of the other blends we put skullcap. There's different various. I think we're up to 8 different blends at the moment.
And you were talking about in the very beginning, you were doing your thesis on cannabis. Oh man, what was the other thing? And frankincense. Anyway, the whole point was frankincense. I love that shit. My wife kind of turned it on to me with our essential oils, and I started adding it to a lot of my topicals. That is always with my cannabis. That's always, and they seem to work extremely well together.
Yeah, they do.
So is there, do you know anything about like that, the reaction, or can you just touch on just frankincense in general? Because I think that shit is just cool.
Yeah, I put that shit on everything. Absolutely. I would highly recommend like doing little research on it, because it's truly beautiful. There are so many different benefits for using the frankincense, especially combined with the cannabis. I might actually, well, if we can get back to that, because that's kind of a fully loaded question right now.
Yeah. What let's see. So oils, just in generally, are there a specific set of oils that you use more regularly than others in a lot of your topicals, your blends? Are there some that are just kind of like standard do-it-your-all bases for you? You know, kind of like cannabis, right? Like I said, cannabis, I put that shit on everything. If I can turn it into a topical, I like it, you know, and I'm going to slather some shit on it. Are there any other oils like that for you?
Yes, I'm a huge fan of, okay, ripping it, yeah, for sure. But I am a huge fan of cold pressed hemp seed oil. When it comes to skincare products, olive oil, I'm a huge advocate. I love using extra virgin olive oil, rose hip oil. I mean, there's so many, right? Yeah, but I really, really enjoy working with the cold pressed hemp seed oil. I actually have gotten the same oil from the same people for the last 8 years. They grow it organically up by Peterborough. And it's some of the most beautiful hemp oil I've ever seen in my life. Very nutritious. I actually went that extra mile because I was thinking about it the one day. I'm like, why does my formulation work so much better than so many others, right? And I got to thinking about it, and I'm like, okay, so I understand my ingredients. I'm like, I really wonder about this hemp seed oil. I want to see if there's something here. So I sent it in and had it tested, and it came back, and I was just amazed at the amount of cannabinoids that it actually contained. It just, yeah, it has that whole entourage effect, which is mind-blowing.
That is super interesting. I've always thought that was something that was cool. I try to save the terpenes in everything I do. And there was a time when I was like, right, in my topicals, because I kind of wear them everywhere, I don't want to just go around smelling like weed everywhere I went, you know? So I actually tried to kind of get rid of those cannabinoids a little bit, or, you know, tame them down or overshadow them with something else. Until I realized, like, really just trying to get a balance with them and some of the other oils, but they needed to be there. It really does make the oil, even topically, much more effective.
Absolutely, hands down. Yeah.
That is so neat. That you're getting I'm assuming just a nice cold pressed hemp is what you said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's been the same. I haven't changed it in over 8 years. And I've had people come to me and just say, like, and they've dropped multiple bottles in front of me, and they say, why does this work and others don't? And I tell them the same thing. It's all in the formulation. It's simple. It's straightforward, right? I truly do credit the hemp seed oil, cold press hemp seed oil, because it just, I feel it makes all the difference.
Have you ever done any further infusion to the hemp seed oil? So, like, maybe you want to add what's that?
Yeah, I do. I enrich it further with CBD.
Okay. Do you do it with flour, or do you do it with just like an isolate or something?
It depends. It depends on the request and what's needed. Typically, I have enriched it with the isolate, right? I mean, that is still effective when you have the entourage effect, from what I know and have found. But I do love infusing it with flour, whether it's like a 1-to-1 or something nice like that.
So, is there a specific time and temperature for the infusion of the cannabis into the hemp seed oil? Or is it just kind of like infuse an MCT?
I am very old school. I have my ways. Just like I was explaining how to make the glycerite with the mullein. I find it's very effective when I follow the same procedure with flour. Or if it's fresh frozen hash rosin I'm infusing into products, I follow the same procedures. And it is very quite effective. As to the exact degree when I couldn't answer that off the hop, to be honest with you, right this second.
That's no, that's fine. But you're basically just doing like a heated steep in there, and yeah, right. I'm assuming a bunch of time and effort and research went into figuring out how long that
Oh,
took for each
absolutely.
thing, and because
Absolutely.
yeah. So I guess I was just kind of trying to wonder what the actual absorption rate of, like, is it a good carrier? You would think it would be a good carrier to bring the, cannabinoids back in. So, yeah, just trying to figure out, a rate of, you don't want to underdo it. You want to
Or
get your
overdo
medicine as
it.
effective as possible.
Right, exactly. And you don't want to overdo it either. And that's why I don't like do a continuous boil. Like I just get it up to a certain temperature and then I let it like I call it a gentle boil. Some may call it a simmer. But I've found great success with it that way.
Yeah, it's been a thing that I wanted to kind of get away from the MCT maybe and see if I could do it all with the hemp seed. It just kind of brings it all back and a little more complete. So
Absolutely. Yeah. And you just, you want to make sure you're not overheating it too, like boil it like a hard boil, right? Because then you're just kind of going to defeat the purpose.
yeah, yeah, I do have a little like infusion machine, so
There you go.
I can be pretty accurate with times and temperatures and all that fun stuff. So
There you go.
so no, that's neat. How so? Like, where do you find schooling for something like this? Like, I don't think I've ever even seen like the offerings for for this kind of types of schooling.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, there's Dominion Herbal College for the herbology. That's where I attended. There are other colleges or programs as well. Um, uh, I really enjoyed working with them, though. And then the Academy of Applied Pharmaceuticals and Sciences, AAPS for short form. The one that I attended was in Toronto. I think they might have other sites across Canada as well, or even online programs for people that are interested in attending.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look into something. Like I said, it's been a rabbit hole I've been wanting to jump down for a while. And
Yeah.
I've got books on teas, and I love going through that stuff and looking through and kind of walking through, just scoping out the yard, being like, "Yep, I can make this one. I can make this one," and always trying to use what's around us, and
Yeah, just double check. Always make sure that whatever it is you're coming across is safe and non-toxic or poisonous. There are many plants out there that we shouldn't even be handling with our hands, let alone ingesting, right? So it's just really important to check things before you pick or ingest, I suggest.
absolutely. I mean, I'm kind of working in a lot of directions myself. So going out and learning a little more on the mycology and learning those things, right? And identification is always super important, especially plants, right? I mean, I I'm I'm an avid player with plants. I just love to grow shit, look at shit, have shit. It's fun. And knowing those like subtle differences is key to most of these plants to really help identify something with a plant, that could be something very vastly different in a plant that looks very similar, you know.
Which most often you see that, plants that look like other plants and people accidentally ingesting them, unfortunately. So yeah, plant identification is definitely super important.
I find that my mushrooms identification is particularly poor. I've got a young daughter that will take out in the bush and just try her hand at identifying stuff. We've got a couple mushroom handbooks to try and identify them, right? And you'll go and find one on the ground and you start flipping through. Like, okay, what about this one? That looks a lot like it. Then you flip like 2-3 pages later, or it could be that one. And it's like, or maybe this one is like, you know, where you really get into like looking at like the gills on the bottom because they might be shaped a little bit differently, and that's how you tell the difference between the poisonous one and the fine one. And it's like, I would really like, I would benefit really well from some kind of course where you, even if it was just like a day course in my local area, so that it's just local foraging stuff like that, and they can be like, okay, yeah, these are the good ones that you thought they were, those not so much.
Hands down, yeah. Especially with you being out west, I there should be quite a few programs out there and you know, gatherings where they do foraging and whatnot for sure.
And you had mentioned some foraging earlier. Some people just have a lot of trouble identifying. You seem to have your stuff together. You know what's going down. Is there any like good apps or anything, or books that you recommend? Or...
Yeah, I was actually going to bring that up earlier. It's funny.
I'm always scared because I'm like, I'm going to get the one that looks like the one and my throat's going to swell.
My girlfriend and I do forage and we're always like, let's check like 6 different apps because going like, right? Foaming out and pass out and push.
So yeah, you know what? I definitely don't know everything. I'm still learning. Every day I'm learning. There's always something that stumps me, right? But when I'm unsure, I really like the plant identifier app. It's really easy. Download it and you can start right away. You just literally take a picture of whatever it is in front of you and it brings up all the information and different pictures of it so you can verify and make sure it's the right one, right?
Yeah, I always had good luck with just the regular Google Lens because, like you said, you're always learning and things are so close and you can't store all that information in your head.
Yeah.
So Google Lens is always fun, but the one thing I've always noticed is never take what they say for what it is. Always look at that because they most of the time they'll be like, and there's this, or it kind of looks like this plant, or it kind of looks like this plant. And I've had more luck realizing that it's usually the second or third option. It's never the first one that they think it is.
Oh, really?
But never on mine. It's always just a hair off. But you know, just research and then click on some of those sites because they teach you how to actually identify those plants with the small little minutia of things, right? Like the way the veins come out of the petiole into the fans or into the leaves, you know, small things like that can make all the difference. So that's all. You know, we're always researching even those plant ones just a little bit, and you can't take them for exactly what they say, but it's way more likely.
Yeah, I've had pretty good success at the plant identifier. Just saying. But yeah, that's true. You always cross check for sure.
Yeah, I think I got plant identifier when it was like super early in the beginning stages, and it was bad.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good now.
I have to relook into that when we go walking around the yard some more because I've definitely got some now that I've identified pretty accurately, and so that'll be fun.
Do you guys have any apps that you use in particular for plant identification or?
The girlfriend has one on her phone that she'll use from time to time. And I don't know which one it is, but I can say that when she took a picture of Freak Show cannabis leaf with it, that was very first thing that popped up because like we're not allowed to grow where we're living. And so one day I had a whole bunch of Freak Show seeds. I was like, fuck, maybe I could just throw a whole bunch of these around and people just won't know. And then we hit it with the app, and it was like the very first thing that came up. But then it also had about 4 other options that it could be.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the Google Lens has been pretty solid for me. But when it came to mushrooms, I do use like one that's just called Mushroom ID.
Okay. Good to know. Those are all good resources, right, for people.
Hey guys, I'm being called away. Sarah, it was so very nice to meet you. It was a pleasure. I will talk to everybody else later.
Sounds
Thank
good.
you.
Thank
Have a
you.
good night, Sarah.
You see Dag's talking about leaf snap. I'm guessing that's another plant ID app.
Okay.
I've chatted here. I'm guessing.
Yeah, that was another one actually I forgot about that I was gonna try a while back ago. It was Leaf Snap.
Nice.
Picture this. I've used the picture of this one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Some good stuff up there. People can.
I think that's the one I was referring to. It's called Picture This Plant Identifier, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, so that's the one I meant too then.
So you also said so you make a realm of things, and I like teas. So let's talk about some teas. What's your favorite brews to throw in some teas?
Ooh. I love the vitamin C blend. Strengthens the immunity. We use different things like some ginger, um, some orange peel. We have goji berries, um, hibiscus, and elderberries in it. It's quite lovely.
That actually sounds like it'd be delicious as well.
It totally is. It's
I
absolutely
have a
delicious.
lot of hibiscus around. What part of the hibiscus do they use for that? The actual flowers? Do they just dry the flower and?
Yeah, I mean, you can use the flower or the leaves from hibiscus, like even if you have like Rose of Sharon, which is in the hibiscus family as well, and it's common throughout Canada. You can actually use the leaves, and it'll help relieve any congestion in your lungs as well, and support immunity. It's pretty good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Have you ever played like I was talking earlier? Have you ever played with any of like the black walnut tinctures?
Yes, we do make a black walnut tincture to help with parasites, like an anti-parasitic tincture. I also use a black walnut husk in the soaps that I make. I call them smudge bars. Not only
I
can
know.
you smudge the negativity, but the parasitic stuff too, right? It's a
There you
little
go.
gross. But yeah, so they have quite a bit of sage and some patchouli. Yeah, very good stuff.
Awesome. Now, do you use that fresh or do you use it dried? Sometimes I know the oils can get ruined if you dry them, and they're supposed to be used fresh. So,
Yeah, we usually get them in fresh. Um, yeah, we do have it dry as well because we do have people that ask for it cut and sifted, which is the term we use. It just means a smaller cut. So you can use it more for like teas and stuff.
okay, and it doesn't really lose effectiveness with the drying of it.
I've always thought, I mean, I've never really found it lost effectiveness, but it may.
Yeah, I was just curious. Yeah, just if it was a noticeable difference. If it's not really noticeable, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Even better. That just means I'm gonna go out there and dry some of this stuff up.
Yeah. No problem. Yeah.
But right, it's a yeah, they are basic as crap purple. I've got it everywhere. That is one of those things about it. It's once you have one, you've got a lot of it.
Yeah, true.
But shoot, I forgot what I was gonna ask.
Oh, good.
I see purple thumb going off about the Rose of Sharon being all invasive and stuff like that, and I'm sitting there thinking, like, I don't even think I've ever seen that. This is another one of those funny things where, and watch, I'll go look, like when we're done here, I'll Google that up and see if I've ever seen it before, and it's probably something that I've been seeing my whole life.
Yes.
Which is something Now,
Yeah.
because now that we're trying to learn a little bit about herbs, edible plants, and stuff like that, it's funny how a lot of the stuff that you're kind of taught to disregard as just weeds throughout your life is actually a lot of it is super nutritious, super medicinal,
Yeah.
and like actually has
Beneficial.
really good uses. And it's like if we would just spend a little bit of time foraging and stuff like that, think of tea drinkers, chamomile tea drinkers, right? They like I think of maybe they're not talking about a whole ton of money over the course of a year or so, I would think, but you could easily pick enough to store and dry out and store for your entire year's worth. It would not take long at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Same thing with motherwort or plantain. There's always plantain in every driveway, most driveways, I should say.
I wanted to
Yeah.
ask you
Yeah.
about that because my friend, him and his wife make a salve, and they give it to me all the time, and I put that shit on everything.
So
Every time my kids now ask for, where's the green tea? So what is the benefit? What is the benefit of plantain? And jewelry?
Plantain?
Yeah, it's a mix of plantain and jewel weed is their salve. I don't know what their base is. It seems to me like more of a coconut oil.
Maybe
not a
do they put
beeswax.
cannabis in it too?
I'm not sure.
So typically, what I use, okay, so I use plantain typically on its own in a salve, or I'll just use it directly, like in case of an emergency. We're out, let's say we're out in the woods and the kids are getting attacked by bugs. Okay, I'm going to look right away on the ground. I'm going to find some plantain. I'm going to do one of these and just rub it on their bug bites. Right away, you'll notice the redness going away and they won't be scratching. It really takes the itch out. It's really great that way for after bite. We mix it with yarrow quite often for salves as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder if that would work really good with the frankincense as well, because I know we use the
Absolutely.
frankincense with the bug bites, and that makes a huge difference with that also. So maybe a little, maybe just put the frankincense on the plantain leaf and just slap that bitch on there and call it a day.
Yeah, you can, but I mean, typically, back, like, you can also just kind of, if it's clean, just chomp on it a bit, mash it in your teeth, grind it, and then just kind of rub it afterwards too. Combining it with frankincense, yeah, you totally could. You totally could, but I feel that on its own, it's perfect.
I'm not kidding. This is the only thing we have in our household now for every single topical purpose. It works.
Beautiful.
It cured my daughter's horrible eczema.
Amazing.
We use it on bug bites, burns, cuts, like stings, like literally everything.
Irritations.
It's
awesome.
sunburns, like it's fantastic.
Yeah. Calendula is a really good one too. That's kind of a go-to for me. I usually keep a jar at home, my office, my car, because I find like if I bump myself, like a little bump or little scrape, cut, stuff like that, it really promotes fast healing. The calendula. So you could also even try adding some of that to it too and see what that does.
Awesome. I'm going to write that down.
Oh, yeah. That would be like a total powerhouse for sure. Yeah.
I actually, Caribou had said that, you kind of came to our attention through our friend High and Tight, and he had sent me a good one where they were making mango seed topicals. Have you ever done that? Do you have any experience with it?
Mangosteen?
Mango seed?
Yeah. So we use like mango butter, different things like that. I use a lot of grapefruit seed oil in products because it's highly antimicrobial, antiviral, like anti-everything, right? It's really, really nice to put in there. High in antioxidants. Yeah. really good stuff. I have more experience with that, I would say, versus the mango seed itself.
Yeah, that's neat. I'm gonna have to look into more of that because
Mhm.
I haven't, like I said, I kind of really started learning about the topicals. Got to get all the kind of started with just an MCT base. It works for a lot of things. I can pivot real quick and make some edibles with it. I can make my topicals. So it's a real good workhorse, but I want to really focus my topicals to be straight topicals now. So, to get a lot more healing effect out of them has always kind of been my goal. And I think like the hemp seed oil will be a big step up.
I was going to say I would highly recommend changing out the MCT oil and just trying like an extra virgin olive even. The cold pressed hemp seed oil is always a winner, but you just use lower temps with it.
Yeah.
Just not to.
Okay. Lower temps for the infusion.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Definitely. The other thing is for the absorption rate. That was one of the reasons kind of that it really I would like to get away from the MCT too. It doesn't really seem to absorb quickly, and so hour later you're still putting oily marks on stuff when you put your arm down. It's so definitely getting away from that is a goal. So what is hemp seed definitely something that would absorb a little faster?
Yeah, I do
Okay.
find it absorbs quite nicely. And then it also boils down to what other ingredients you're using with it as well.
Oh yeah. Because I use, man, I can't remember the name of the oil right off, but it's super thick. I only use like 3 drops of the stuff, but I mean it's like motor oil. Like every time I make like a little bottle of it, it's like a 10-minute process to get 3 drops out of this freaking bottle. It's
Oh, yeah.
ridiculous.
Typically, what I found with topicals is I don't like to add more than 5% to my topicals of my cannabis extract, whatever it may be, because I find anything over that, it doesn't really go anywhere.
Yeah.
It's not required, right? So I try and keep it around 5%, and that seems to be really great.
My wife just told me it was vetiver.
It was what? Sorry?
Vetiver is the name of that oil, or vetiver. Yeah.
Vetiver.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great.
I use a lot of that. I found out that was really good. It seemed to target nerve pain really well. So that was one, and I believe if I recall, it's stupid fucking expensive. But
Yeah.
I put that stuff in there, and I was like, oh my god, like that is one of those things that really makes the difference in the oil. That and basil, oddly enough, the basil really, and that. No, like you said, don't put a lot of it. I'm down to using like as little of that stuff as possible. Notice the effectiveness of it being there, but not the overwhelming stench that it brings to the party.
Yeah. I don't know. I love it.
The basil oil, oh man,
Yeah,
when I get just that stuff on me, I'm like, oh god.
Rosemary, basil, lemongrass, lavender, peppermint, frankincense, all of it. I just love it. Cinnamon, clove. You've got your heating, your cooling. It just,
Yeah, I see in chat here someone mentioned hot peppers.
Cayenne, absolutely. We work with cayenne quite a bit. Ginger and arnica, like a Mexican arnica. That's really great stuff, man. Absolutely.
Is there a benefit to just, because a lot of guys that just eat hot peppers can be tough sometimes. They say it's good to like thin their blood or like any of that crap. So it's like, is there any real benefit to just chowing down on super hot peppers? Do you know?
I don't know exactly. I know it's great for heart health. It would be great like for cardiovascular to help with the blood.
Okay, so there you go, man. You're on to something.
Yeah. It's great for inflammation, a bunch of stuff.
I know it clears you up.
information, she said.
Like when you even just like a little touch of it.
There is the one slight downside is you just gotta watch the potency and how much of it, because it will tear up your stomach lining.
Yeah. I don't care for that much spicy food. Like I went through a little phase there, like 10, 15 years ago probably, where I just ate everything. I'd eat the hottest crap. Now I don't enjoy it at all. But I will get like, you know what I mean? If I have some hot sauce around or something, I'll take one little dose just to clear my airways up.
Didn't we touch on that just a little bit? Where you said basically you just kind of warm extract that into some oil and take it?
The mullein?
Yeah, with the same effect.
I'd much rather extract it into a glycerate and take it that way for whatever reason. I'm just feeling compelled to say that. I wouldn't typically, unless you're using it externally, but that wouldn't be to rub on your chest or something, maybe in an oil, but no, I would use a vegetable glycerate for the extraction and a touch of water. That would be best.
And taking that as, say, like an oral tincture would still have that same cleansing effect to the like lungs and everything?
Potentially, yes.
Okay. What would be the benefit of taking it? Would there be any benefit to taking it orally, or is that more of like just like a chest topical?
It's not necessarily a chest topical either. I'm trying to make sense of infusing it into oil, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I could see that could be a method of application, but in that situation, you would probably do like a castor oil compress there if you're trying to loosen up or ease up, the lung
Interesting.
toxins, I'll say. Mm-hmm. But yeah, typically in a tea, smoking herbal blend, that's how tincture. Yeah.
Okay.
And you had mentioned raspberry leaf in tea. I love raspberries. I got a big patch out back. Do you get like what? Do you get any flavor, any raspberry flavor from the leaf? No.
No, it's not the fruit, it's the leaf. So it's definitely not a raspberry fruit flavor.
Dang, I was hoping. Because I'm new. My wife, obviously, as you can tell, she's kind of down the same path you are. I'm not so much. I'm just trying to catch up. So,
Hey, that's
she
cool.
had me looking at teas the other night because, like, I'm just I'm getting a little older now, and I'm looking at different ways to like help fall asleep and stuff. So I just crank 3 bongs, and
nice.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's just not.
We're incorporating tea.
Bro, evening teas are a fucking beautiful thing when you get older.
It's all downhill from here, though, G-Bay.
That's what happens to us welders stuff. We get old and start drinking tea.
You do. You start drinking tea, and then your friends fucking start making fun of you for drinking tea and being fucking going to bed at 9:30.
Well, you didn't have to tell anybody, but he just told everyone.
Actually, I got a question regarding homemade teas. How many of them have like caffeine in them and caffeinated properties? Because I remember years ago I tried started drinking teas and stuff as an option from coffee. I love coffee. I drink way too much of it and it's hard on my stomach. So I was looking for something easier. But I found a lot of the times I would start drinking tea after I had a cup or two of coffee in the morning, and I'd just be freaking wired. Like like holy crap. And then you look at the box and it's like, oh yeah, no, these are caffeinated, and which I didn't expect. Now, is that all stuff that's been added in by tea maker companies, or is this naturally occurring stuff that in there?
Okay. So yeah, there are different levels of caffeine in different teas. For some reason, what came to mind when you asked me that question, as I'm smoking this wonderful joint of hash and weed flower, thank you.
Sounds amazing.
So, the coffee thing, it's funny you mention that. I drink a lot of coffee myself because I just love the It does the opposite for me. It doesn't quite get me going. It like levels me out. But one thing I find is that it does hurt my belly. And I've started making a beautiful coffee blend that has medicinal mushrooms ground into it. And it also has coriander, ground coriander. And when you drink it, it's like, even if you've got a bit of stomach discomfort, it's gone. And it's I'll have to do some more research on my recipe and figure out exactly what's what, right? But yeah, I would highly recommend trying a little coriander in with your coffee or tea and see if that helps a bit.
I absolutely will, because if that means I don't have to stop drinking coffee, I just like, oh, you know, a cloudy, rainy day and the clouds part and the sun comes out and here's a nice hot cup of coffee.
Hey, give it a try, you know?
Actually, no, but there, without knowing any more on your recipe, it actually made me think of about 4 years ago. We were working in the New Denver, British Columbia area. And there was this dude that we had heard about. He's from other guys that had worked a contract in that area before, named New York Nick. And he made this coffee blend that it's a pH balancer, I think is what he called it.
Okay.
And it was like, it had like a nutty berry-ish kind of flavor that you'd put whatever the ratio is in with your coffee
Nice.
per pound of coffee kind of thing. And it was made it taste really good. And also the stomach issues were gone. But it was, like I said, I worked out there 4 years ago, got a pound of the stuff or whatever that little size baggie was, and ran out not long after, and haven't tried it since. But now actually kind of this conversation makes me think of that sort of stuff. So damn, I might not have to stop drinking coffee. In fact, I might even be able to drink more coffee. This is going to be a good life.
Okay. Don't shoot the messenger.
I have seen a lot of stuff recently about replacing coffee with mushroom blends and stuff. I haven't researched any of it.
Yeah, lime
Is that
cream.
just like
Mhm.
these just flashy commercials I'm seeing, or is there something? I guess there's something behind it. Eh? Mud water, I think, was the name of one or something.
Oh yeah, yep. They're doing that too. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like nootropics, really, right?
So I'm down to switch it up. I just need routine in the morning, basically, because I'm kind of zombie-ish, like going out the door and stuff. It's just part of my day, right, to have a hot beverage in the morning. So it doesn't necessarily have to be from the coffee bean. I'll try mushrooms.
Yeah, a lot of people enjoy kava kava or dandelion root or hickory root as well, in place of coffee. Yeah, there's all kinds of alternatives.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start.
I've got a question pertaining to possible foraging and whatnot for like muscle inflammation or something. I'm thinking of it right now because I've done something to my back earlier today. Now, say if we were like hiking or something like that, and I don't know, maybe you wipe out and you bugger your knee up, and then you know it's giving you some grief. Is there anything you can think of that, like if you were walking and hiking a trail that you might, and someone was in this situation with it, that you're looking forward to either you can smash up and boil into a poultice or whatever, or take it internally that might actually help with inflammation, get you back to the vehicles or whatever the case may be, sort of thing?
Well, yeah, I mean, typically there's many options. I mean, there's various options depending on your environment, on where you are, right? But like we discussed earlier, plantain is a good one to help. If there's calendula kicking around, if you have chamomile flowers kicking around, they'll help. Yeah, there's different various. Trying to think on the top of my head here, but yeah, next. We are smoking, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Heck yeah.
Definitely.
So
Yeah.
let's have a little talking something with that maybe you like to play with. So let's talk terpenes and cannabinoids and your your take on them, your use on them, which ones you like. You know, are there specific ones that you're using? Which ways are you using them? So let's get into some herbalist cannibal. Oh God, I can't talk now. I'm all tongue tied.
Okay, so you want my basic breakdown on terpenes, in my opinion, my view?
Well,
I know.
yeah. What do you think's useful? What's kind of like the medicine for you mostly, and what do you find that is helping other people the most? How's that? We'll start there.
Yeah, that's a great loaded question. Thank you. Um, yeah, so terpenes, what a wonderful, wonderful thing. Terpenes are found everywhere in nature. Most people don't realize that. They're not cannabis specific. Most plants secrete terpenes in some form or another. It's the oils that the plant produces. Terpenes are found, in many, many household products, many health products. People don't even realize it could be in your, they are in dish soap, for example, Sunlight. They use limonene. And why do they do that? Because it's uplifting and it gives you energy, right? So different things like that. I mean, black pepper, a lot of people don't realize that when you're actually cracking fresh black peppercorns or peppercorns, they're actually, they contain CBD and terpenes as well, right? It's, and that's great for inflammation. Simply fresh cracked black pepper. Something so simple.
Wonderful stuff.
Yeah. If somebody's ingested too many edibles, like too much THC, fresh cracked black pepper can help bring them around, amongst other things. Yeah, so I use terpenes in my everyday in so many different ways, ideally, right? Whether it's essential oils, fresh plant matter I'm working with. Some of my favorite terpenes are limonene, pinene. I really enjoy mycerne. Yeah, yeah. One thing that I find very interesting. Gesundheit.
It
One
works
thing.
the opposite way.
Yeah, it was fun. It kind of brought me around for a sec. One thing that I love about mycerne is that it's kind of helped show us that, yes, you have indica, sativa, radialis, but you know what? You can go to sleep off of sativa if it's high in mycerne. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to keep you up, right? So the different terpenes, I don't know, it depends on what effect I'm going for, or if I'm helping a patient, because I do a lot of custom work for patients as well that just aren't able to make products for themselves, or just don't have the time or the knowledge to, like, the capacity to do it. But yeah, it depends on what we're going for, really.
I'm sorry, but I had to put this one up. What do you got going on in the background? We're kind of curious. Is you got someone chopping wood or something?
Oh my gosh, I just read that. Okay, there's fireworks going on. I live
Oh,
in
wow.
Niagara Falls, and there's fireworks every night at 10 o'clock.
Seriously?
Yes, my apologies. That's what you're hearing, the fireworks over the fall.
That's awesome.
That makes way more sense than the dead body.
I thought that's what
I
it
just
was.
read that. I kind of went, oh my goodness. Oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry if we interrupted earlier there. I was about to ask a question. Miss G, but I didn't know I hit unmute, and she blurred it out. There,
He
sorry.
does that a lot to me.
It was
I was
quiet for
wondering
like
if
2
everyone
minutes
could
here,
hear
and I
me.
was like, okay, I'm gonna ask a question
And it's
now.
always something embarrassing.
Unmute, and she's like, blah blah something, and then I was like, what the fuck?
Never
One
embarrassing.
inappropriate comment.
Oh yeah, she was reading someone's goofy comment too, so it wasn't anything educational.
Oh, I don't even really see the comments. There's just the odd one that I see. So I apologize. I don't know if it's a good thing or what.
Yeah,
Oh, this is
there's
a
nothing
funny
bad,
thing.
but they're just having
It
fun
was
over
just-
there.
Good
Our chat is like, it's something, something else. It always gets its own little.
Well,
Oh, here's the grand finale. I think it's done.
There we go.
it's funny though, because I was just like sitting here trying to figure out what it was that were, without doing the obvious thing and asking, right? It's like, okay, well, looks like she's outside, like
Yeah.
good chance it's the bush. And I was thinking like chopping firewood, but it's way too regular, right? Nobody moves an axe with that
Yeah. No.
regularity. And then, yeah, fireworks was completely not.
He
Yeah,
got
would not
drum.
Whole bunch of stoners going, what the fuck?
No, we just have a ton of skunks in neighborhood,
Letting it fly.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I just kind of heard something and looked over to the dark yard. I'm like, oh boy. Too funny. I do not smoke in my home. So that's why I'm kind of out in my backyard, because we don't smoke in the house. We go outside.
all that it's all good. It's there's quite a few of us that are like that.
But my office, though, that's my haven and my sanctuary. I do the please there.
Yeah, normal rules don't apply in my little zone.
There
Yeah.
you go.
We got this
That's
little
why it's
grow
called your office.
Yeah.
I got a grow room that we're in. You can't see, but I got 3 or 4 tents behind me.
Nice.
So yeah, there's a lot of ventilation here. So I get
Okay.
it.
Yeah, I'm loving the art behind the two of you. Like,
Yeah,
that's
this is just a tapestry, just my
nice.
little mini studio I can throw together when I'm not down here watering plants.
Mm.
So I had a question. You were talking a little bit about your thesis that went into this. So tell me a little bit about the research that went into that. Well, maybe tell everybody a little. I don't remember. Was that right before we went on or right after? But tell everybody a little bit about your thesis and a little bit of the work and research that went into it, because that sounds like super cool.
Oh, there was a lot of work and research that went into it. A lot of tears, late nights, a lot of dedication. There's just so much that went into it. I do believe it's going to be published soon. And maybe I can come back on and we can, go over
That
different
would be
things at a
awesome.
later time. But it's very involved. So yeah, we can definitely go there sometime. But
We would
it's
love to, like
yeah.
100%. Yeah, if you're willing. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If it does go out, shoot us a link so we can read up on it and we can have a conversation, because that would be great. I would love that.
Yeah, that'd be great. I
It'll
would
be
love.
like the one time we do all have that list of questions that we were talking about. I was explaining to her earlier that she was asking if we had any list of questions for her and stuff like that. And I just personally, when I'm doing when someone keeps asking me Q&A type stuff, I feel like I'm on like the witness stand in a courtroom or something, right? You just got
Spotlight.
lawyers, and it's just like, whereas if this way we're kind of smoking joints or doing dabs or whatever, it's, a little bit more chance to breathe kind of thing.
Yeah, it's comfy. It's just raw. It's just, it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if the conversation don't go there kind of thing, it's but this is so much fun. Like, it make me want to go play in the bush and like kind of wish we were out there right now. It was light enough to see, and I'd be like, oh hey, is this what I think it is? And it's be like, no, your camera sucks. I can't see it.
Yeah.
The lighting's terrible.
Yeah, I actually went out to BC a few years ago. I had big plans to go out foraging that way, but I'd like to organize a trip maybe with the family this coming year. because my son is also quite interested in my daughter and foraging and, spirit medicine and stuff. It's kind of a blessing. But yeah, I'd like to plan a trip out there and,
Well, if you ever do end up this way, reach out because I'm not too far from anywhere. We're kind of pretty central here in BC, so nothing's really all that far away.
cool.
How about like regular gardening? Do you do much like fruit and veggie gardening kind of thing, or do
Yeah.
you keep one, or are you mostly just into the foraging for and stuff?
No. We've had very, very nice food bearing gardens in the past, very large, that I've done with the kids. This year we kept it simple. I usually plant rosemary everywhere I go. Basil. We had, I think, 7 different varieties of tomatoes this year. And there's some beans, cucumbers, and just one plant at the house. Yeah. Yeah, we kept it simple this year, but there's quite a bit of like medicinal flowers and stuff around too, so it's great.
I like hearing a lot that you're getting your kids into doing this stuff too. I say this all the time on the show. I firmly believe that in this day and age, specifically, people that are able to do things for themselves are going to be at a huge advantage. So, you're foraging for food, medicinal items, stuff like that. Anything that can help reduce costs, it's just a huge plus. Trying to get ahead in life, and so. And the fact that when you actually get kids interested in that, it's so cool. Like my daughter, she's 9, and you give her the option of being on a tablet, TV, or any device, or going outside and doing anything at all. She's going to be outside. She wants to be out there, and it just makes me so happy to see that because it seems like too many kids these days. It's just the tablet's the easy way out. And a lot of parents do that too. And I can get guilty of it myself, where it's just like you get busy doing something and you just kind of, okay, here, let the device babysit your kid for you for a bit, right? But it's not good either necessarily. So it's, yeah. What I'm trying to get at is I hope that I'm able to have, I can guarantee I will not have the schooling behind me that you have, but they can learn a lot of stuff between now and then to when my kid's 18 and put a lot of knowledge in there. So she will know the differences between a few mushrooms, a few medicinal herbs. Oh yeah, we can eat those berries and all that, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's never too late. And, if you put your mind to it, like, right, we can accomplish great things. And yeah, it sounds like you're very eager and wanting to learn more about it. And, that's, I'm sure you'll go quite far.
I feel like plants in general is just, okay, I'm a utility arborist apprentice, so like I cut trees for a living. And I remember when you go to school, they do a little bit of tree biology work. There's about a week, 2 weeks of that kind of stuff. And the whole time the teacher's talking, he's talking Mary stems and all these big tree words and all that. And it's like I'm sitting there envisioning giant pot plants. He's showing diagrams on the whiteboard and stuff like that, or slideshows. He's, this is how you properly cut the trees, etc. When you're doing pruning cuts. I'm like, God damn, that's just like I would do if I was in a giant pot plant kind of thing. And you start realizing, everything is the same.
In some ways, yeah. It's all connected. Everything's connected.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
So what do you have any other projects coming up like that you're looking to get into, whether it be more schooling or just more stuff that you're looking to make you haven't gotten into yet? Or
well, here's the thing. I am a lady that wears many, many hats. And I like it that way, right? Because I feel like I'm forever learning and growing. I have different various ancillary businesses as well that all kind of fit under the same kind of umbrella.
Okay.
you know, for different various causes, we'll say, or reasons. So yeah, like I've got quite a few projects on the go. And, you know, I'd say 98% of them are to help other people, right? Not, yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of, you know, as time goes, more things will emerge publicly and people will see more and more. But yeah, I've definitely got quite a few pokers in the fire and projects going that I really hope will help our community first and foremost. And yeah.
Yeah, like I was checking out some of your stuff, you know, creeping you on Instagram and all that. Looking through your profile stuff. Now, this vaporizer thing that I see, your Toke, is it?
Yeah, my Toke.
Okay, now is that yours or something you're promoting or something you designed?
No.
Or?
Yeah, that's a fellow that engineered it, built it. It's it's quite a nice little device. I really enjoy utilizing mine. One thing I really enjoy about it is like you can charge it wirelessly,
Okay.
which is
So, yeah,
very
I'm always
convenient.
losing the little adapters to charge.
It has the dab adapter, and it's pretty good. Like, yeah.
I'm gonna look into it a little more, definitely, but
I'll definitely do another video taking a nice rip off it just to show everyone because
make sure it works, right?
oh yeah.
As I find a lot of complaints too is like with some people with the vaping, they're like, "Oh, my hit's not big enough." I don't mind.
No, with this it's good. It's good. Yeah. But I'm very selective, to be honest with you, on the products I promote or promote. Because yeah, I you know, if there's something I'm promoting, I promise it'll be of quality. That's all I can
For
say.
sure. Now, is that something available exclusively through you, or is that available?
There's a discount available exclusively through my link tree, like on my link tree. If you go to my Instagram profile, Lady Cannabis of Niagra, just under my short bio, there's a link tree link. And
That's where I found it. Yeah, that's exactly where I got some of my info from.
And then I also have my apothecary listed on the first selection, and as well as the consulting for CCRXC.
Yeah, that's cool. Do you have any friends in the cannabis industry per se, like LPs, licensed producers?
I do know quite a few people in Canada on different levels, different industries. Sure, I know a few LPs, lots of craft growers.
Cool.
You know, I've met many people through my travels and different various projects.
Yeah, that's the one good thing about the new industry I find is the networking that's happening, kind of not overnight, but it's, you know, it did kind of get just thrust into the legal market in 2018, so it's still fairly new, and it's really neat to see these high level professionals, but also people that kick back and enjoy cannabis. It's right. We're breaking that stoner stereotype. It's beautiful. Love it.
Yeah, and more people are open to trying it, right? Which is beautiful as well. Yeah, it's I just love that it's accessible for people, you know.
Same.
Yeah, I've been doing a grow in my backyard for the last couple of years and stuff. Just kind of putting it in people's, not putting it in people's faces, but when people come over, they can't not
see it.
Yeah. So
I've been like that for quite a while, about 9 years now. I've been pretty transparent with the local officials and people, and I am not an LP. I do provide certain services and products, but you know, I've advertised that right on the side of the highway for years and years. I have not hit it. In fact, I've encouraged it, so I get it.
Awesome. Yeah, it's funny because I had a friend living behind me when I moved in. He was not a friend at the time, but I ended up working at the same factory he worked at. So we knew each other. So when I started my garden, it wasn't really that big of a deal. He knew what I was kind of about and whatever. Well, he sold his house, new people moved in. I'm like, well, let's see what they think about it.
Yeah.
They didn't care. They just was kind of like, whoa, hey, that's large. And now there's a for sale sign up again, so I'm wondering, wow, man, got to deal with this again. Hopefully they're cool again, but it's not that they don't have to be. I have fences, and I keep it behind a fence.
And both have a license.
Yeah,
So it's
I'm
allowed,
licensed. So, you know what it's like sometimes. Neighbors, man, fences make the best ones, but
yeah. My mother always said that when I was young. Good fences make good neighbors.
Yep. You like to wave at them every once in a while.
Oh, yeah,
Every once in a while, you get a real cool one, and hey, man, that's when you make that cool flip fence where you sit at the table together.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes having neighbors that are hanging out all the time. I don't know if I'd like that either.
Yeah.
In the driveway all the time talking to you and stuff.
I'm not that kind.
All right. Okay, guys. So it's like 10:30 here. 10:20. Did you guys have any other questions? Well,
If you are ready to take off, you are more than willing, and we are so happy to have had you.
ditto.
So, but and no, I am absolutely excited to have you come back after that is published and have another real good chat. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Other than that, I guess there is one more thing that I guess I could ask. Is there any kind of daily supplements kind of that you take for your overall health through, the stuff that you make? Is there just kind of like a daily routine that you have?
Yeah, good question. So yeah, absolutely. I have like a 9 mushroom blend that I take daily. I enjoy that quite a bit. I find it keeps my immunity up. It's just an overall amazing blend. So there's reishi, cordyceps, turkey tail. I have lion's mane, chaga, and shiitake, and I think there's also some maitake in there too. But yeah, that's like it just gets me going. I love it. I feel good. I feel like my health's in check. You know, mentally, physically, the whole kit and caboodle. Right? All the systems are moving the way they should. Yeah.
I think
So
those
for
things are
sure.
pivotal. I hear them referred to as functional mushrooms every time I hear them talked about, and the more I delve into them, the more I take them, the more they're building. The more I realize how deficient I must be in them or my systems, because they really do make a huge difference. I can tell almost instantly when I don't take my fungus. So yeah, absolutely. Those are great.
Yeah, and I ingest cannabis daily. Right?
And when you say ingest, is it only in the smoking form, or do you
Oh,
ingest
no,
it
no.
also?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So we have cannabis beverages. Like I had mentioned earlier, I do enjoy my coffee, my hot beverages. So I actually infuse those as well. Sometimes it's just a teaspoon of infused coconut oil into the coffee, or um, yeah. Um, I thoroughly enjoy cannabis, whether it is vaping, smoking, ingesting by way of food, topical. It is my go-to. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, typically it's not uncommon to see us juicing fresh plant matter as well.
Very nice. For just straight drinking it, or you mixing it in smoothie, kind of putting it in everything?
No, drink it straight.
Very nice.
I enjoy
Very
that.
nice. Do you find specific strains do you better than others, or are they all kind of the same spicy arugula-ish flavor?
It varies. I do tend to stick to a certain group of strains, and terpene profiles, because I do experience a lot of the same needs daily. Yeah, I do like to try new strains and mix it up from time to time as well.
Nice. Very nice. We have one more ringing question that we absolutely have to get to. Okay, so if you could be any animal ever in the world, what would you be?
Oh, a bear. A bear.
A bear. Nice. How come?
Oh, so many reasons. Strong, adaptable, wise. You know, they hibernate. They don't stop with that winter shit. They hibernate. They're good, right? They wait, right?
Nice. Right.
Yeah,
You just get to
so
skip
many-
that whole cold part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though I love the cold, yeah. But yeah, I just different reasons. You know, a mother bear, how she is with her cubs. Like there's yeah.
Beautiful.
What were you expecting? I got to hear this.
Nothing. That's we had a good friend of the show that used to be on, and that used to be his thing. He asked everybody. No expectations. We all like to know. But in chat, we had $5 on a dolphin. We had a kookaburra. Let's see, what else do we have? A cat. we had a few guesses.
Oh, that's what all that shit was about. Okay. See, like I heard about the question, the question or the animal, and I knew exactly what that was about, but I didn't pick up on the chupacabra or the $5 on the dolphin, and I was even like thinking $5 on the dolphin. What the hell? Well, no, she wants to hibernate, so not a polar bear.
I just want to personally thank you. Yeah, it was very informative. I wasn't expecting such a awesome show. This
Oh
is
gosh,
that was
thank
wicked.
you, Jordan.
That
Yeah,
was cool.
Yeah, thank you so much.
yeah, it was a blast. It was a pleasure. Definitely look forward to sessioning again.
Yeah, we're gonna have to rewatch this one a few times to get all that info.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I actually am really excited when your thesis gets published to bring you back again.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Me
It's-
too.
Proud of you for that one.
This is one of those ones where, like, when we bring you back, we do want a bunch of loaded questions because now we've got to meet you. You're awesome.
Oh my
And
God,
you've got a lot of info to give. So we've got a kind of introductory. Who are you? What are you all about? Now, and everybody seems to be interested into, plant medicine and how can we use this to better ourselves and better those around us. So we're gonna come at you. Live chat will have questions. We'll have questions. It's just
cool.
get ready. Wear your football helmets. We're coming at you.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right. Well, it was a pleasure, guys. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Have a great night.
All right. Bye now.
Bye. I was
Well, that was pretty fun.
Dude, that was awesome. I thought she was gonna
That
have
was
trouble
wicked.
getting out though, and it would
I
be
was
like
not ready for that.
5 minutes.
Right, we're gonna make it really weird, but
That is right up my alley. I'm gonna make so many questions.
No,
right.
that's-
Oh, the next time through. Oh boy, I hope she's ready for this shit.
Right.
Well, I
Give
was
me
not ready this time.
give me the fucking ADHD with some thesis to fucking come off of your skull. We're
Fluffy,
gonna talk.
right? Had I realized, oh man, I've had Oh.
Well, if anything, though, now like she probably done fucked up coming on here the first time, because now she thinks it's going to be all slack and laid back, which it totally usually is. But now, how many of y'all in live chat have questions off the top of your heads that you might not remember necessarily right now, but during the moment while we're going, you're like, oh, what about this? Oh, what about that? And you know, we will absolutely get her back. Thank you so much, Sarah. If you're still listening right now, that really was.
That was amazing.
We still got like half an hour to kill too. It's like,
I know, now it's time to get stoned. So
right?
Let's do it.
You know what I can do? I can unplug the laptop and go get high in the bathroom with you guys.
Hey, in the bathroom? Yeah. Always some good.
This might take me a bit. Dude, my back is just fucked. Like, I watch this. I'm going to do the old man. Like,
yes. Dude, oh my God. You got to dye your shit gray. That way fucking you can, like, really sell
it's
it.
pretty gray. Trust me, it's pretty gray.
Oh, man.
I'm walking like I just shit my pants.
I only laugh because I feel your pain, bro. That's why I don't fucking stand up on this shit much.
So let's see if I can. We'll put the laptop like right on the fucking back of the shitter, maybe. This will work.
Oh, beautiful. I have no idea, but I'm scared.
What? It's Friday, isn't it? What are we doing?
Holy shit, I thought he was going to start doing that fucking dance.
Start twerking for y'all?
Yeah, do it. Do it. See, now, I hope she's not still watching, because we are going to get into some fucking Friday shit, and yeah, we don't need
smoke. Oh, I get it.
Oh, down to the bathroom. I get it now.
Yeah, that's what mine looks like too. Nice. Oh shit! All right.
Ouch.
Dabs and twerks. Can you twerk and dab at the same time?
We can try.
No, I will definitely break something, and by something,
Dude,
God knows what it might be.
At this point, I think
Elf or
it's
something in the
broken.
room.
It might actually get better at this point if knock it loose.
Broken might
Supreme Court. Don't
broken might be
crack
so
around.
much better.
I have actually done that. I have cracked ribs.
Twerking and dabbing and fucking cracking ribs. That does not sound good.
Like one time I had bronchitis, a real bad cold going on, and just, my lungs were shot and coughing all the time, and ended up cracking 2 ribs. What are we looking at, Fluff?
Yeah,
I'm
that is fucking triangle octane.
Oh, you fucker.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I heard High and Tight plowed through a jar of that shit.
We all plowed through a fucking jar of that shit, and probably more than one. And I mean, I got to sneak a little bit of the fucking flour here home with me, and by a little bit, I do mean a little bit. But he did tell me when we got there, because he's the awesomest person in the world. Whatever was left after Boot Fest, I got to keep. So I just strategically moved it further and further away from him every time I seen him sitting down. So I was hoping he'd forget about it. And I feel like they cleaned out a pretty good amount of this, but I got this much left, and that makes me super happy. I also told him when he said however much was left over I could have, I said, I'm going to try to hide that shit from you, right? And he said that was okay. So I didn't feel bad about doing it. I got the okay.
Just start stockpiling it a little bit at a time. Kind of like Johnny Cash building his Cadillac. Over here, there.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks you're taking a shit.
Dude, I'm sitting on this toilet.
Watching.
You guys are the ones sitting on my shitter, not me.
Right?
Hey, we had a whole fucking episode with Tommy Chong on the fucking toilet, all right? I mean,
yeah.
bathrooms are awesome for the Cariboo Hart show.
Where were you fucking dabbing?
That was
priceless.
priceless. When he just walked down the hallway and plugged his phone into the wall in his bathroom.
Right,
I was like, this couldn't be more fitting.
That's hilarious. Like a massive house like that, and that's like the only room that.
Well, if you think about it, we really don't even know for sure if he did plug in, because he just died on us. So there's a chance his phone might have just went kaput, and that's how the connection got lost.
Yeah.
Actually, it's true.
Yeah,
What are we
it could
dabbing?
be. We are dabbing diamonds.
Nice. Yeah, that was like high caliber. I like that. That was good.
Oh, dude, so cool, man. I mean, and I've been thinking of what's that?
She caught me slacking.
You're right, dude. I've been thinking for a while about like trying to up my fucking rollerball game, and I really do. Like I've been. God damn, is that just like a big ass diamond?
Are you about to
That's only a quarter of what it was.
Yeah, she came over with a rock one day.
Ooh.
We're not.
Jesus Christ! Hey man, you need to get that off the screen. They're gonna think we're fucking like busting up rocks around here doing some fucking booger sugar.
When I brought it home,
Man, I'm only doing little snot dabs like this.
Fine.
You ain't doing that shit all at once, right?
No.
Okay. I say if you just drop that bitch in a banger and make me look like the biggest pansy out here, I'm gonna fucking be mad.
I'm doing little pansy dabs with my freaking straw here to make it feel any better.
Okay, bro, that's what I'm using. Oh, wait, where's Hoobie? This is gonna set him right the fuck off. Look at this thing. Oh, that's almost as bad as fucking Uncle Rick's banger, isn't it? Fucking nasty shit. Oh, better fucking.
Well, do a little bit more. Fuck yeah, it's good stuff.
So it's anyone ever dealt with ground wasps?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so today you guys are gonna laugh because I didn't know what to do. I didn't have any spray, but I did have gasoline, and I did have my Tiger torch. So you guys see where this is going, right? I'm like, okay, I'm down to the last little bit of lawn. It's where the bees are. So I dumped some gasoline in it, like down the hole. And then I used my striker and lit a little line of fire and poof, puffity puff. And that just really pissed them off. They didn't really do much. I guess they all flew out of the hole or whatnot, whatever. So I did that 2 or 3 times to really get them going. And then I started to flood it with a garden hose. And then they were all just flying around. So I got my Tiger torch out, which is like essentially it's a flamethrower, right? Hooked up to a propane torch. And I went to battle.
Oh, you mean like a weed burner?
Yeah, weed burner. Yeah. Well, it's a metal heater for me, but weed burner for most, I guess. Yes. And yeah, I went to town with these guys, man. It sucked. I hate doing that to anything, but get off my lawn, man. So.
I was just gonna ask, when you dump the fucking gas in, did you just have a bunch of fucking pissed off, flaming fucking wasps coming at you?
No, that would have been dope though. But no, I didn't really want to do it because I'm like, well, what if there's like some really like shitty,
big intricate there, like fucking ground thing, and you just blew the whole yard up? That would be cool.
I need arched fucking water into it.
Oh yeah, I sat there for 10 minutes with like the garden hose on full, going straight into the air with a nice big rainbow of water. So when it was coming down straight right into the little hole.
I would have went straight up scorched earth tactics on them motherfuckers.
I scorched.
Oftentimes when I get stung, it's not once, it's like 3 or 4 times, because I'll be cutting away in the bush. All of a sudden you've stepped on one that's buried in the ground, or it's fucking hanging chest level oftentimes right by you, and you get zipped once, and you start fucking running. You know exactly what happened, but you get hit 2 or 3 other times, sometimes more on the way out. And by then, I'm like, you got to go in for your chainsaw again oftentimes because you're fucking dropping everything. Just get the fuck out. You're like, okay, I got to go in there and get my chainsaw and not get zapped a whole bunch more times. How do we do this? Brake cleaner. Brake cleaner is not brake and part cleaner, just straight brake cleaner. That shit will fuck them up right away.
I was spraying it with spray paint.
That works. Or another fun one though, if you can get to a hanging nest and get like some spray paint or any kind of aerosol, get a lighter, light it, and just right it into the opening. Because if you can get that shit take, they'll come out flying all pissed off, but their wings will singe off right away.
Yeah,
you
it's
have a whole bunch of them on the ground, all swarming, and you can step on them or just
after a tiger torch. Though the spray can just don't cut it. Like this thing sounds like a jet. I don't know how much propane comes out, like cubic foot per minute on these things, but it's a fucking.
Oh yeah, bro.
Dump the tank, like. So it's like
I always light like my burn pile with that thing. It's just like, and yeah, I said, yeah. There's no wondering if it started, after about 30 seconds with that bad motherfucker.
I bring it camping now. It's funny because you should see the looks I get from the neighboring sites. I'm all nice and happy with my lanterns and my dogs running around, and we got our little family cups and everything. I'm like, you ready for the fire? Yep. Just flames everywhere. But
this is what I would love to see right there. You go after them fuckers with the shop vac.
Shop vac shit the bed today. We were trying to clean our pool out to pack it down for the summer, and it started smelling real funky, losing power, and the RPMs were dropping. So she's toast.
Like,
I used it to clean
that deck. She's like, it smells funny. Really.
I used it to clean that boat out I built. So it was my little buddy that whole time I was building that boat. So it sucked up flux core shit for a good 4 months. It doesn't know.
Oh, bro, we have killed so many shop vacs in years in the shop from that.
Any bearing inside that motor is like locked up. It's like when I hit power, it's like no, it's not a good time. But I want to laugh at Jay Patrick's comment earlier. He's like, haha, back with the cool kids. We had to keep reserved a bit there. Like we couldn't. This is a quality guest. We couldn't mess around with that.
See, I totally read it wrong. I thought he was like in with the cool kids, and he was like saying goodbye. I was like, well, what the fuck you still here for?
Thought he was on to bigger and better things.
Yeah. Fuck, I was like, congrats. Fuck it later. Deuces.
Remember us little people.
We're not, nor can we ever be cool.
Always remember I was rooting for you.
Send me a postcard from the top, please.
What's it like up there?
Hey, Supreme, you only kill the ones that fuck with me.
I also put my running lawnmower on top of the hole for like 10 minutes. I put a zip tie over the handle on the lawnmower. It's like, fuck you.
That's kind of ingeniously disgustingly torturous.
Can't imagine what our neighbors think at this point.
Oh man, it was funny because at one point I'm swatting with a spray can and I got a
probably would not have happened had I been home.
I once had a friend who was like kind of the same way with spiders, and I remember him texting me furiously once talking about how he was killing this giant spider with brake cleaner, and this flaming spider ran into the fucking wall of his house, and he's like, dude, I think my house is about to fucking burn down. But I mean, this dude was so terrified of fucking spiders. I mean, this wasn't like he like doused this motherfucker soaking wet, and it was like limp to a fucking hole, and then he lit that shit on fire, and it screamed off into the hole. So it still had plenty of burn time. You know what I mean?
I'm getting better every day because these dock spiders, okay, they're the king of spiders.
Ew, oh.
There's no other fucking spider in Canada that comes close. A dock spider can be, its body can be about as big as a dab container, and then you got to add the fucking legs to it. So,
yeah.
A coffee cup. You guys seen the coffee cup video I had with the fucking
bro? Probably like fuck. We didn't get a video of it because it was late. But the fucking Boot Fest fucking spider, that fucking high and tight had to kill, and you should have seen him trying to kill that motherfucker. I wasn't about to go anywhere near it. But dude, this motherfucker was a tarantula. I bet it's like that thing.
Today, listen to this. I had to get under a dock to weld some shit up and do some shit. So I was standing on a upright piece of C channel. That's all I had. So I think it was 1.5 inches that I had as like. So I'm reaching and holding and leaning and like I'm I'm relying on my surroundings to help me out. Every freaking where I look, man, there's a good, inch or two round one just like, hey, buddy, what's up? Oh, blah, 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 blah. And then I went to flick one off because it was like just wouldn't move. Well, it was dead and all crispy. And like I touched it. No, fucking get me out of here.
Did your finger go in it?
No, it fell off and then it floated. Like it was weird because usually they skitter off, right? I don't know, but I'm getting better, man. But there was one the other day, boys and girls. Oh my geez, it had to have been as round as a mason jar, for sure. Like with its legs and everything spread out, yeah, for sure. Easy.
I hate you, right?
Easy. Dog spider so big its legs stick out of the side of your shoe after you squish it. And it like no, they're fucking pop and shit. I can't kill the big ones.
Right, dude. Like if I slip when I squish you, I have a problem.
Fuck, I can't do it. I will burn them. I fucking nope.
Right, spiders, that's for sure.
No one knows. No one understands my pain, man. I work on these things, and every time I'm taking a drill, or not a drill, like a driver, and I'm undoing a deck board, I'm just talking to Jesus for a second. I'm like, listen, don't let today be the day, man. I don't want to drown. Spider doesn't want to die. I don't want to lose my job. Like, just get this fucking thing repaired and not have to deal with any of this arachnophobia shit. You flip the board over, there's 3 big giant fucking spiders. You almost lose all your shit. You gotta take 5, go to the truck for a pipe.
Okay, hillbillies coming.
Driving down the highway and a dog spider climbed out of my hood, was sitting on my shoulder. My wife calmly told me to pull over right fucking now. Flew out of the truck. I had no idea. Oh yeah, no, they're no fun.
Well, yeah,
my buddy
because
John the
if
other
he
day
told
put his
you,
hand
he
up.
would have flipped the fucking truck.
I
That
was
was
doing
the
some work.
smartest thing she ever did was not tell you about it.
Yeah. I was doing work for a contractor the other day, and he was standing like down on the beach up against the dock. So he was at his like chest height, and he put his hands like this on the fascia board or whatever. And he's talking. I'm like, hey, John, just you got to there's a spider near your hand, and he goes like this. And the fucking thing was like this big too. So he's like, bye. I'm like, grown men jumping nuts.
I remember back, this is probably the late teens, early 20s. We're at a party, and my buddy Lenny was a huge motherfucker. And, tough guy who used to like to fight a lot. But I remember we're standing there by the fire, and another buddy of ours, we're standing there talking. He looks at Lenny, he's like, hey, you got a spider on your chest. And it was a big popcorn spider with an ass on it like that. And Lenny sees this fucking thing. It just this big, huge fucking dude, tough guy, shit can most people you've met, and just screaming like a fucking girl running. His drink got thrown straight up in the air, and you watch him just book it across this field in the dark. And it was just like, that was some funny shit. This same dude, I remember, we'd been borrowing his mom's car quite a bit for a few weeks, so we thought we'd do her a solid, and we take it to the car wash, did the inside outside, got this thing looking like as nice as we could do. And we go and hit, I think it was Dairy Queen for lunch, and we're driving up the road, and he's sipping on his root beer, and all of a sudden a hornet flies in through the window, and just same girly scream, ah! And all of a sudden there's root beer all over the inside of the fucking car. It's like, dude, that was awesome. I'm sticky and wet now, but I guess the car's not clean when we dropped it off now, is it now?
Bro, I had this fucking job. So one of the few times where I decided I'm going to let them fucking put me in charge, and I'm going to fucking run this shit. So I got my guys, and they're fucking off all day. Of course they are, because why not? I would be too. Well, I finally get over to them, start to get them to get the fucking job set up, and they go, we ain't fucking working here. I was like, what? Like, what possibly could be the fucking problem? They're like, spiders. I was like, you bunch of big-ass fucking pansies. Like, are you serious, spiders? They're like, we ain't fucking around. They pointed at the wall. And I was like, what? And then the wall kind of looked shimmery. And I'm like, what the fuck? There was like a 12 by 12 foot spot of the wall that was so tightly packed with brown recluses that you couldn't tell what the fuck it was until you got close enough to see it. but from a distance, it just looked all shimmery and fucking wavy. Like, and I was like, dude, the second I saw that, I freaked the fuck out and got the fuck out of there. I was like, yeah, no, oh no, nobody's working in there. I wanted to go in with the fucking weed burner, the fucking torch, and just fucking go nuts. And they would absolutely not let me go anywhere near there anymore. But
It's like Adam's
Dude.
comment. He's like, I flicked one and it was little babies went flying everywhere. You want to hear something real funny? The other day, doing a weld job, I had to put up these like 10-foot posts. They're 3x3 or 4x4 square tube, 3x3. And I had to cap them off, but I didn't cap a couple of them. I had to do it the next morning or whatever. I went back to one, and for some weird reason, I don't know if a spider crawled in that tube overnight and let its babies do its thing, but there was fucking tons of little baby spiders everywhere, and I had no choice but to put the cap on this thing and fucking get my day started. So I was like, they're probably crawling all over me, man. I can't even think about that right now because I'm on a ladder and I have to hold the top of the post to not fucking die.
Dude, they're probably still in your hair right now.
Whatever. In hers now.
Thanks.
oh, they ain't never coming out of there either. You're fucking making
Yeah,
a home.
man, they're
You got a fucking family now. Hey, you know what though? That's aphid protection. Just have her fucking go in the garden, just shake the fucking locks around a little bit. Let's spread some of the babies around. That's just built-in fucking IPM, bud.
Yeah, what's
You're all
your
right now.
IPM?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Yeah. Where's my rice that I'm getting cooking up? Where is it in there?
They're clean.
I got some rice inoculating in there.
See, instead of like the sachets or whatever that you get from like the insectaries, you just every time Mrs. G-Bay goes for a haircut, just throw like a little 1-inch chunk.
Well,
I don't go
Right
for
on
a
there.
haircut. You don't cut
It's
these?
surprisingly like I love teasing her better too. She gets on me, but the shit she does to keep those things fucking rocking, man, you'd be surprised. Dreadlocks are not dirty, actually.
No,
oh no, it's just
I'm-
funny to fucking talk about.
Oh
Dreadlocks
yeah, big
can
time
be
spider
dirty.
nests in there, fucking gross.
Dreadlocks can be dirty. I've known people
Oh,
where you don't
yeah.
want to get anywhere near them, but
Homeless people can be dirty, yes. So if they have
No,
dreadlocks, then it's
no,
fucking-
not just. I've seen some people that, yeah, you don't take care of them, definitely.
Motherfucker, though, now it's got my head feeling like it's all itchy.
it's just like, have you ever get the phone
Oh, I was
call from
thinking
the
of that.
school or whatever that it's like one of the kids has lice in the class and now you got to check your kid and all the other, and it's just like, as soon as you hear the word lice, you're just like, and then you bring them home and they don't have it, but you're still like, huh, what if there was like a stray one, kind of like a spider mite? And just bring that stray one in. Now is the whole house going to get infected?
Dude, yeah, no, fuck that. Like, that's the whole, like, I remember getting those calls and I would stop the kid. No, you ain't coming anywhere near there. I'm going to inspect this shit. We ain't going to. But yeah, the whole time after I even fucking, he was even near me. When it was getting ready to look at him, I'm like, yeah, is it on me? It's like, he isn't even here yet. Why are you fucking all fucking feeling itchy already?
I had this really cool trick that I used to do when we used to get that phone call is I would make the wife at the time check the kids. And it works really good. Not only do I not have to worry about it, she'll do it for me. So you see how it works?
Oh yeah.
That's perfect. Yeah, you know what? If I was you, I wouldn't go near a fucking kid with lice either, man. That shit, you would look ridiculous. I don't even know if I'd be able to talk to you for a while after I seen you shave.
It will look ridiculous because here's the thing, right, guys? Having long hair is a bit of a pain in the ass. I now that it's long enough that I got to kind of deal with it and brush it on a regular basis, I'm like, son of a bitch. And so I've thought about forgetting to cut the hair, but I've already said that I'll be rocking a mullet, full on mullet for a good long while if I do that. And if I do the mullet, odds are there will be facial shaving going on because I would have to bring the super penis duster back, I think. I like to really cheese up the mullet. But here's the thing now. I haven't cut my hair or my face in like about 2 years, I think. Probably even over that now, actually, since it was shortly after Ash and I got together. So it's like, well, that's like 2 years of solid beard growth where usually I would like once every year, maybe year and a half, I can kind of buck it down a bit, get it back into shape. But now it's like, well, what do I do? Put a lot of effort into it.
If you're gonna go ridiculously short again, you should totally fucking do the super penis duster. But if you're gonna fucking get rid of all your hair, before you do it, give yourself the super penis duster, but then give yourself like a bozo cut. Fucking fluff that shit up and leave the fucking sides into the penis duster. So it's like a Wolverine bozo thing. And just get one picture for me, please.
Okay, so this is you know what? I wish I was fucking bald because I would rock a skullet 1,000%. Absolutely. Have you ever seen Devin Townsend from Strapping Young Lad? He had like dreadlocks and a skullet going on at the same time. He was a bad motherfucker. And now he's just bald. He's not nearly as cool looking. But but I don't think like baldness is in my genetics, because in my family, the dude's hair, our hair just seems to thin out. It never seems to really actually leave. It's just a hell of a lot less of it.
So like skullet, like fucking George Carlin, right? Like the fucking
like long all the way around, just bald.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My buddy had that I fucking used to work with like 20 fucking years ago, man. And he was so proud of that shit. It just kept getting thinner and fucking thinner.
Dude, I could see that being me. Like, hell yeah. But like I said, I got hair. So to shave my head, because that's the thing, shaving my head is too much effort. That's why I don't shave my face, for fuck's sakes. I'm too lazy. So to shave my top of my head on a regular basis so that I have this really cool haircut, I can't see myself doing that. But I could do a mullet. I could absolutely do a mullet. And the old lady says that, okay, you can do that. I've gotten her to agree to it, but I have to like go back to a normal haircut after November, whatever we want to call it. And so I'm like, well, fuck, if I were to, on December 1st, if I were to rock the mullet, that would give me a full year of mullet time. See, she didn't read the fine print when we made this agreement.
Very true.
And you know how you guys know I don't mind looking like an idiot, because when I first started the show, that's when I had the super penis duster. That was before I met any of y'all. So y'all know, like,
The Hulk Hogan stash.
That's also how I know the old lady loves me for who I am, because I had that ridiculous looking thing on my face when we first shacked up. So
Spinning around doing dabs and shit. That was awesome.
I just wanted to throw out there for clarification. No, for dreads, you do not, or you should not use anything to start dreads with. You use a crochet hook. It's all, yeah.
Is that really what you did? You crocheted your hair together?
Well, not myself, but I do now. Yeah, it's all like, yeah, you take loose pieces of hair,
There's
take
super
it in a
small
chunk,
crochet hooks.
and then you take a super small crochet hook and you start like weaving in and out and kind of like ripping and like weaving in and out, and you just keep going down.
Smaller than dab tools.
So if you don't have long hair to start, it's going to like really shorten your hair. It'd be really like tiny.
Well, I would look like I have a million penises
prepared for
popping
it.
out of my head, but that would be okay. I don't mind looking stupid. We've already.
Caribou would look like he's got like little fucking Vienna sausages all over his head.
Right?
He'd
Yeah.
be an island boy.
So like that's like
Well,
that's my very bottom one, and it's like that one, right?
well, because my missus, she crochets, like she does the amazing penises and all this other stuff that we've seen, right? So she could probably crochet the shit out of my hair, and then I have like a sausage farm fucking growing out of my head. That'd be great.
Right?
Because I remember even like when Insane
I have
Clown Posse was
55.
cool for trying to like do the braided hair thing like them instead of dreadlocks, because I wasn't allowed to have dreadlocks when I was a teenager. So I feel like this is a long time coming.
Right? I wasn't allowed either. Bullshit.
Crochet the beard.
Good times. That was a really good show tonight, man. I can't.
Bro, only if you make it like a basket or something. You got to make it something useful, not like dreads. You got to like crochet it into
That was a
something.
fucking fruit net.
Yeah, fruit net.
Make it fucking
I
useful.
like these ideas.
Plant
Bro,
hanger.
your little fucking the little demon that your old lady did. Get her to crochet your beard to look like that little fucking demon. He'd always just be hanging there.
Right?
That'd be fucking badass, dude.
Like designer
Crocheted
beard.
mushrooms in there.
A little plant potter hanger.
A little make your beard a little fucking
succulent
crocheted
plant.
cannabis leaf.
You probably could. You know, dude, I could probably turn my beard into a cloner if you think about it.
You totally can.
See, yeah, there we go. That's made by my missus. That one right there. That's awesome.
Okay.
Because you think about it, like I could probably keep my beard moist, and then we're talking about weaving it into kind of some kind of thick baskety. Like, well, no, if it was so dreadlocks. Let's go back to the dreadlock idea. You stack that up a bunch. That kind of starts to look like a rapid rooter, doesn't it?
Yep.
See what I
There
mean?
you go. Birdcage would be tight.
See how we went from like this amazing, intelligent Korean guest and conversation
You
to
don't
all of
have
a
Sarah to
sudden
hold it together anymore.
devolved into this. This is what happens when we don't have intelligent people around to babysit us.
It started with the bees. Is it always our fault? Like, I feel like it's always our fault.
Probably our fault.
I always blurt out inappropriate comments.
I do apologize. I don't know if anyone really caught that. It happened on another show too. She was quiet for like 2 minutes, so I'm like, I'm gonna ask a question. I unmute. As soon as I unmute, she reads the comment that was like balls or some shit.
No,
What was it?
Something about peppercorn snooters.
But yeah, peppercorn snooters. She yells out snooters
Peppercorn-
when I hit
Although
unmute,
peppercorn snooters.
and
would
when Sarah's in the middle of a nice, intelligent conversation.
be good God.
But that's
you apologize.
But that shit was very cool though, because it kind of makes me think like when you break up some peppers for like putting it over your meal or whatever, I find you do kind of get a burst of like almost like a clarity almost. But it's something that I've never really considered. And like you get your open sinuses and stuff because the pepper does that burn and stuff, and it's stuff I never thought. I don't know, it's wow stuff. I like it. I like learning. And like I said, I'm excited to get her back again.
Jay
Yeah,
wants to cutting your
sure.
hair.
Uh-oh, what am I doing by shit show, Jay Patrick? Wasn't paying attention.
Island boy dreads.
Oh, no, I'm probably not going to do that till maybe after November because then I can get a full year of mullet time in and looking super ridiculous. I think. Unless I can convince her to do the dreadlocks, which I think I can't remember. There was either the mullet or the dreadlocks. I absolutely was not allowed to do. And now if I'm allowed, and if I was allowed to do the dreadlocks before and it was the mullet, and now I'm allowed to get a mullet, even if it's only for a month in her eyes, that means I've completely broken her down, guys. I've got her trained.
I feel like I remember this conversation, and she was definitely down for the mullet and not the fucking dreads.
Okay.
Fuck.
I feel like there was a solid no-go on the dreads, but the mullet was a side-eyed fucking, I guess.
So she's
Shout out to
still only
Thunder Dan. I'm
partially
eating
trained.
their chocolate bar.
Uh-oh.
He loves the texture.
And I got the
Dan's gonna
double
get
one.
triggered.
Big weird Turk.
Did you say you love the texture?
I'm just joking. I said
Threw him for a loop. If you Americans don't know what a big Turk
it's a
is,
weird. It's a really weird.
it's a
texture.
chocolate bar. Okay. I've already been biting on this one, so it's got
You can see it.
it's half chewed. But there's red jelly. That's all it is. It's
A better big
Turkish
screen here.
delight.
Angle it up a little bit.
Turkish,
oh yeah, there you go.
there's the red.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Turkish delight.
Hey,
covered in
well-
chocolate.
That's fucking awesome.
Oh,
Hey, well, I just thought of something, man, while we've got a couple people
Don't know
in
what it
here. If
is.
y'all are on Instagram, go over to Instagram and check out fucking at Rosinman82. He's got a little seed giveaway going for US and Canada. Good friend of the show, badass fucking genetics. We love fucking Rosinman, Adam and Chad. Go hit him up. He's got an awesome thing going. I think he said he's closing it by fucking the morning or something, didn't he? Do you remember, Caribou, that post? Fuck, let me check real quick.
I can't remember when I said I'll find it right now.
Yeah, I'm on it. Let's see, when's it fucking closing out? It is closing out at 6
Well, there's
a.m. by
no
tomorrow.
point in I'm gonna win anyways, guys. So there's no point in anybody really jumping in there. But if you really want to waste your time,
Did you fucking count all them fuckers?
No, I did not. I just don't want people to enter so that I can have a better chance of winning.
You Americans
Well,
have
you
this one? Three Musketeers?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Okay.
Dude, Three Musketeers are the shit.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay, so he's closing it by 6 a.m. everyone. So I'm still trying to. Oh no, I close the window now.
Come on.
And fuck you, Adam. No, I did not count.
Dude, Sniff's counting. I saw him actually writing it on the screen. Sniff's getting an accurate count. He ain't fucking around. He's gonna win that shit.
Damn.
Oh yeah, I fucking should have typed that in and not just told everybody. That was kind of stupid. I'm sorry, yo. But Adam's got it.
Okay.
Dude, I used to almost smarts earlier to try to think of shit. Now it's
okay. So Sniff wins, I guess. Who's
maybe
smart?
I don't know. I don't see his fucking numbers up in the fucking thing yet. Oh man, I don't see his numbers, so there's still a chance. There's still a chance. But hell yeah, man! Fucking troll over there and get you some of them beans.
Yeah. I have a funny feeling that it's man, I'm excited to try out some of his gear that he's been talking about lately.
That fucking package I sent better fucking make it to you. I don't know where the hell it's at. It's in fucking transit, still really making me angry. That shit's got to get there.
Does it still say it's in Chicago or?
Said it left fucking Chicago.
Again?
But again. Ain't never been seen again.
Huh. Well, that's well, that pisses me off then, because there's some stuff in there that I'm really excited for. And there's just a lot of gear in there.
Yeah. I spent a lot of time putting a lot of fucking stuff in there. I need to re-update that, though. I'm going to check on that now as soon as I fucking find it again.
It'd be awesome if it was like all of a sudden, oh, it's being delivered tomorrow. Which well, maybe not, because I won't be home tomorrow. Here's a bit of a.
I'll take it. At least it means it made it there.
Yeah, this is true. So like, I found out I was leaving town to come to Vernon, where I'm at now, for for working, and I assumed that with the guys I was working with, it would be a 12-day shift. I'm like, okay, that's fine, because I'm trying to make Rocktober happen here. It's going to be a busy month for us. A few extra days would be really nice. And so I packed for 12 days. And the night before we leave, I find out, nope, we're only going for a 5-day shift. I'm like, well, that's cool. This means more time at home, which is always a good thing. No issues with that. And then today, freaking day 2 out here, we're talking to one of the younger guys who doesn't want to put in a 10-day shift. And I'm like, well, shit, if I can turn that 10-day shift into a 12-day shift, then it's worth it for me to stick around out here. And I was able to make that happen. Here's the problem. I got not nearly the amount of stuff that I would bring with me for a 12-day shift. And I fucked up big time, because I didn't even bring the Cariboo, that badass coffee maker that new friggin' sent me, because I was in a similar hotel situation like this, where you got one of these stupid little freaking single cup coffee makers, but it only does tea bag coffees, not even like a full-on Keurig. So I'm like, how the hell do I make coffee? Right? And so I've had to get inventive. I've had to rig up some pretty stupid shit that I don't really want to go into, even though you'd probably be pretty impressed with the ingenuity. But let's just suffice to say, some MacGyver shit's going on. And hoping that somebody will be coming from like Homeways, that's one of the guys I work with, coming out here that can maybe bring out some sort of care package from the missus, and I can have coffee, for fuck's sakes. And the other thing is the dishes in here. They're like, they got like old food like baked on there so deep, there's like fucking ruts in the pan right now, and baked on so hard it ain't coming off. And I'm just like, ew, I don't want to cook on that. Like, I'm really
fucking ruts.
Pretty much, man. It's gnarly, and so I'm just like, so roasted
Are we
chicken.
4-wheeling or cooking?
Well, you could do a little bit of both.
Both, yeah, whatever you want.
4-wheel themed cooking, but yeah, no, it's gnarly. So it's like, yeah, but I've apparently I might be going to a different hotel here in a couple days for the remainder of the shift. I don't know. So yeah, this is kind of funny. It's the sink right here, right behind me. It's the sink to wash all your shit in is smaller than a toilet bowl. I shit you not. It's deep. It's about 1.5 feet deep, it seems, but it's only about like fuck. Trying to wash a plate in there is like it feels like you're doing a contortionist act, trying to like get all this shit in there. It's fucked up. Well, guys,
We're on mute. He's chatting.
Start thinking about shutting her down here. It is getting to be that time of night. Past that time of night, I guess.
That was a great one, guys. Awesome.
I love
it.
Thanks for the guest. That was cool.
Yeah.
It was a great guest, and
That was wicked.
Yeah, we're getting her back in.
To once again thank Sarah, Lady Cannabis of Niagra, again for coming on. I'll get her Instagram link posted up in the description below there, so that everyone can just click that up and find her. It was a great show. Really looking forward to having her back. Live chat, y'all have been killing it as usual. A little bit, half the time trying to figure out what the hell you guys are talking about. A bunch of comedians in there for sure.
Today was a good one.
Yeah, no, it was good. Freaking man seed oil, Jesus.
Right?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a good one.
I don't recall actually getting anxiety necessarily, Decoy. I think it was just more like a uneasy feeling, almost like a prelude to anxiety, maybe, where it's just a bit of anxious, can't get comfortable, maybe I don't know, maybe even irritable, but I don't recall actually getting anxiety from it, or full blown. Yeah, not sure how to describe it. It's been a few years, but I do know that I do go pretty far out of my way. If I know something's got God butt in it, I have got no interest, because it just maybe it was a miserable thing too, just kind of how Fluff with that shit that he was talking about, where it just destroys his entire household, right? It could be something like that.
bro, that was like fucking wild turkey. That kind of weed was like wild turkey for me back in the day. You give me fucking a shot or two of that shit, and I was gonna fight every motherfucker in that bar. Or wait, not wild turkey. Fucking Jim Beam is what it was. Fucking Jim
There's
Beam.
some weed, it hits too hard. It's like, I use it. We've used it before to shut the drunk loud people down. Like, you're trying to chill and you get a fucking jackass. You're like, hey, get that good shit. Get him to roll it, make him think he's cool, rolling a joint and everything. And when he lights it and smokes 6 pops, he's fucking out of here. Perfect. See ya.
Nice.
It works every time.
Smoking on this end game here a fair bit recently, and loving it. This is the number 2 pheno. So if you ever hear of sloth lettuce V2, this is the mother right here. It's very orangey, not as orangey as the other pheno that I'm playing with. That one's a lot more compact and hits a little bit harder. Just the orange smell and taste is a lot more prevalent in there as well. But I just had that nug sitting there beside me. Figured I'd show that one off. It was first harvest that we'd had in a few weeks at least, anyway. So that was kind of exciting.
Nice. Yeah. You know what? I just want to say also a big shout out and thanks to the fucking guest, man. I hope everybody goes out, gives her a follow. That was some really cool information. Can't wait to get her back. And fucking shout out to you guys, the fucking community here, the chat, my wife. I needed this tonight, big time, to just some laughs, some good times. So fucking shout out to all you people, man. The community does more for people than you might think sometimes. So
Actually, you know what? Your Dags, I 100% agree with that, brother. You look at even when our guest had to bolt, earlier than normal, hour and a half into the show, and here we are still just bullshitting, having a good time. And honestly, I'm not even in any hurry to go anywhere right now. I'll probably actually just head if people are in Discord. I'll probably be in the Discord for another hour or so afterwards because this is. I literally got nothing better to do. So, but anyways, y'all, thank you so much.
Yeah.
We love you. Thank you for the support. Y'all just are so fucking awesome. Like live chat, our Patreon supporters who, if you give me just about, will it load? If you give me an hour and a half for it to load, by the time it's done, I'll be able to shout out our awesome Patreon supporters.
Just go hang up Discord for a bit and just.
Yeah. Hell yeah. All right, I got the list here. Okay, let's go with the most senior, I guess you could say. We got Crazy Pop Mom, BC Stoner Mom, Chef Paula the Great, G-Bay Genetics, South Nelson Farms, Z's Garden, New Groves, 311, Day Neutral Preserves, High and Tight, Kingfisher, 2 Cents, Blue Kiss Gardens, Delman, Fragrant Lilac, and Green Widow. And also Hooli, the king of the Buy Me a Coffee app. We can't forget you, brother, too. If you'd like to support the show through Patreon or buy us a coffee, buy us a doobie, whatever you'd like to call it, the links are in the description below, and very much appreciated. With that, I'm going to stop babbling on like some kind of lunatic idiot, and we're going to get the F out of here. You know how it is, guys. Bless your souls. Rock and roll. Let's get out of here.
Take this worry away from me. My final bed to lay. I need a
There we go. What do you got going now? Nectar collector. Sweet.
Peace out, y'all. Have a great night. Dabba dabba. That's all, folks.